Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, the Bitcoin chart continues to consolidate on a very high level. This is the daily chart, of course. We are still talking about here an overall bullish scenario. In the ideal scenario, the most bullish scenario we had here of the November lows, a wave 1 to the upside, into the April highs, then a corrective, you could say sideways movement into the September lows in a wave 2. We're basically now in a third wave rally. In this third wave, we're dealing with 5 waves, and we are about to complete here a wave 1, very close to finishing. Then we should get a wave 2 pullback, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and it can take us to new all-time highs, eventually targeting round about 125,000. But that is sort of going to change a little bit depending on if we get any extensions here along the way. It can certainly stretch out higher. But we should also stay realistic. So this is a bullish scenario in which now a deeper pullback obviously has become more likely. You know that. Even in a bullish scenario, we can come down all the way to 27,280. We don't need to come down that much. Bitcoin has produced very, very shallow pullbacks along the way in 2023. And when the market is bullish, Bitcoin likes to produce only shallow pullbacks. Very important to understand. So, however, wave 1 could still at the moment extend a little bit higher. So we are watching for that, that we get another extension maybe here in this wave 5 of 1. And then the ideal target range here is sort of between 38,270 and 43K. We're moving also in an ascending wedge pattern. So what I wouldn't rule out is that we possibly just test the lower boundary line again, or we'll see. I mean, this is literally just a trend line. I just want to show here that we are struggling getting above that trend line. So we'll see. Important to understand as well that obviously the bottoming structure here, I haven't said that for a while, but it's the case. The bottoming structure here in September was not very robust. Yeah, so while it's all looking good right now, it's not the best foundation for a bull run. So please keep that in mind. That means we need to be still on the side of caution. Also, there is of course a bearish scenario. I do mention it every few days, so you will know about that, but still worth mentioning it again for everybody who's new on the channel, because it's not like it's only bullish. My job as an analyst is also to point out the risk and which levels, if broken, will tell us that possibly something more bearish is going on. The thing is, if we see a rally above 43K directly without that wave 2 pullback first, it increases the risk that we could be in something like an A, B, C structure here, in which the C wave has roughly the same length as the wave A. That's sort of, let's say, a rule in Elliott Wave, a guideline that tells us that, oh, we might be dealing rather with an ABC structure and not so much with a 1-2-1-2 structure. The work with Fibonacci levels, even though from a visual point of view, it would still be valid as a 1-2-1-2 setup, but that's a very reliable, you say, guideline, right? Wave 1, wave 2, and the next wave 1 basically has the same length or nearly the same as the first wave 1. It just increases the risk that it's just an ABC structure. Now that could mean all sorts of stuff, but it certainly will reduce the reliability of the wave count. It could mean that we get to completely new bear market lows. It could also mean that we just form a higher low somewhere, but get a much deeper pullback than a wave 2, okay? So for those situations, we are monitoring those Fibonacci levels, and we're also going to make our strategic decisions based on that. So for example, if I see a direct move above 43K, I will probably take some profits or take some more profits than initially planned, because it just increases the risk of a more direct breakdown. Surely holding onto my core position, but maybe making it a little bit lighter. In the upcoming pullback then, I will certainly keep cash for that upcoming pullback and then just scale in as we identify new support levels. So let's take a look at the shorter time frame wave count. This also hasn't really changed since the last update, but we'll see. It's Bitcoin is sort of climbing higher here, grinding higher along this trend line, which we can actually still here extend actually, yeah. So it might still use that, touch that again. Bitcoin yesterday, well, reversed out of our yellow support area. So we have, well, this is by the way the extension of the wave 1 that we're monitoring at the moment. That is sort of my preferred scenario. So far it's being followed. Could still break down, but so far it hasn't broken our support. The other scenario is that already here on this time frame we could have completed wave 1 and we are in the wave 2 pullback that I just showed you on the daily chart towards this green box, but the move down doesn't really look very aggressive. So it's rather pushing higher. The bears are not strong enough, and I'd rather be focused on the long side than the short side, even though I have to say that the price action up here is not very much high quality, and we're dealing with unreliable corrective structures. Nevertheless, it's currently following our count, but it's very slow, right? It's just, again, a slow motion here. The idea is that in the yellow count, we are extending this wave 1, maybe into that region, yeah, between 38.2K to 43K, more specifically around 40 to 41K. And we have completed already the first 1-2 setup, and we could now be moving up in this third wave. Then we should get a 4 and a 5. Within the third wave, it seems like Bitcoin completed already the A wave, came down, held a higher low, and could now be moving up in the C wave. Now, this is now where we need to see if the last swing low, yesterday's low, is holding. If yesterday's low is holding, yeah, we could continue to climb in a C wave. Would be a 5-wave move. Maybe we've already seen the 1-2 setup. And then a break above the 37,760 level would confirm that further. But the requirement is to hold yesterday's low at $36,700. We could even label that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm not good. I'm taking it out again because these micro counts are too unreliable. Ultimately, what is important really, if we look at this chart, is that in whatever it's doing now, it's holding that 78.6 retracement level at 35,930. A break below that level would indicate that we have to reinterpret the microstructure here. None of that would impact the daily chart really. Okay, so if you are worried about the fluctuations on the micro level and you are actually just trading the daily or weekly charts, then yeah, think again. You know, you don't need to be too worried about this. But I mean, certainly, I think a dip into the green support area would provide another nice opportunity for most people, generally speaking. Anyway, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the video description. There's additional content there every single day. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.